Remember that time you checked your bank account after a late-night online shopping spree? You know, that sinking feeling when you realize you might have gone a bit overboard with those impulse buys? Yeah, it feels kind of like that now, but for the entire world. The global economy is experiencing a similar kind of shock, only on a much grander scale. Economies are wobbling like a newborn giraffe on roller skates. It's a precarious situation with financial markets fluctuating wildly and uncertainty looming large. Japan, the land of sushi and seemingly invincible technology, is facing some serious economic tremors. The once stable financial landscape is now riddled with challenges. And guess what? It might be a sneak peek into our future. The economic ripples from Japan could very well spread across the globe, affecting us all. The world watches, nervously refreshing its news feeds, wondering, are we next? Everyone is on edge, trying to predict the next move in this financial chess game. Don't worry, this isn't a disaster movie, yet, but the tension is palpable and the stakes are high. But it's time to pay attention. The clock is ticking, and every second counts in this unfolding economic drama. Because when the world's third largest economy gets a cold, everyone reaches for the economic hand sanitizer. It's a reminder that we're all interconnected in this global financial ecosystem. Japan's economy is like that friend who walks a tightrope while juggling chainsaws. Impressive, but one slip away from disaster. They've been battling deflation for decades. That's right, prices going down, which sounds great until businesses can't make a profit and your boss stops giving raises. Adding to the drama, a mountain of government debt bigger than Mount Fuji. And let's not forget the shrinking population, which means fewer workers to support a growing number of retirees. It's like trying to keep a cruise ship afloat with a leaky bucket. Okay, so Japan's economy is feeling a little under the weather, but why should we, here in the land of supersized everything, care? Well, because America and Japan have a lot in common. We both love to spend money we don't have. We both have aging populations. And we both really like borrowing money from China. Experts are seeing some eerie similarities between Japan's economic woes and our own. Think of it like this. Japan is the canary in the coal mine. And that canary, yeah, it's looking a little faint. Section 4. History repeats itself. A comedy we've seen before. Remember the Great Depression? It was a time when the world was plunged into economic despair, with breadlines stretching for miles and people struggling to make ends meet. And then, fast forward to the financial crisis of 2008. Banks crumbled, homes were foreclosed, and once again the world was reminded of the fragility of our economic systems. Yeah, history has a funny way of reminding us that we never learn from our mistakes. The headlines scream, the stock tickers plummet, and yet, we find ourselves in the same predicaments over and over. Economic collapses aren't exactly rare. They seem to come around like clockwork, leaving empty stores and shuttered businesses in their wake. In fact, they're about as common as a politician breaking a promise. Grand speeches and lofty promises often give way to harsh economic realities. From the tulip mania of the 17th century, where people went crazy over flower bulbs, to the dot-com bubble of the 90s, when tech stocks soared to ridiculous heights. Economies have a knack for inflating like a cheap pool toy, growing bigger and bigger until they can't sustain themselves anymore, only to burst in spectacular fashion, leaving chaos and confusion in their wake. And you know what they say? Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat their economics exams. So let's take a moment to study history, learn from it, and maybe, just maybe, avoid making the same mistakes again. Section 5. Experts speak, doom and gloom, or just doom. So, what do the experts say? Unsurprisingly, they disagree. Some economists are screaming from the rooftops, warning of an impending economic apocalypse. Others are more optimistic, suggesting a gentle economic downturn like a soft landing after a skydiving trip gone slightly wrong. We're headed for disaster, yells one. Relax, it's just a flesh wound, says another. Who's right? Your guess is as good as mine. But one thing's for sure, when economists start arguing, it's time to hide your wallet. Section 6. The future. Buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy ride, maybe. So, what does the future hold for the global economy? It's a question on everyone's mind, from Wall Street to Main Street. Honestly, your crystal ball is as good as mine. Predictions are tricky and the future is notoriously hard to pin down. Maybe Japan will stage a miraculous recovery, like a phoenix rising from the ashes of its deflationary spiral. It could be a comeback story for the ages. Maybe America will learn from its mistakes and avoid a similar fate. The lessons of the past could guide a more stable future, or maybe, just maybe, we're all in for a wild ride. The kind that leaves you breathless and holding on for dear life. One thing's for certain, the global economy is a fickle beast, prone to sudden shifts and unexpected turns. It's like trying to predict the weather in a storm. So buckle up, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show. The twists and turns are sure to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's going to be interesting to say the least. The future is unwritten, and we're all part of the story.